Welcome back, everybody. Now today, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be going into another Alliance War. And I haven't made many Alliance War videos, only one, but I'm really trying to get better at it. And, yeah, and I'm going to try to do it once a week. Alright, but, yeah, for the attackers today, we have Warlock, Quake, and Stealth Suit, because they all have some good utility, and they're all great counters to so many people. But yeah, this is not my best war. I make some stupid decisions. Well, only one stupid decision. One thing later on, I accidentally forgot to do something. But here's where the first stupid decision comes in, and please don't stop watching after this. But I go in with Quake, and I thought, okay, well, he can't use the special because the specials can sometimes be annoying. But then I forgot he still gains so much power. Like he's like the #1 Quake counter. So I'm starting to Quake and Shake here, and yeah, and then I try to get the intercept there. But he just gains power every stun. Yeah, I immediately lose Quake in this fight. I'm just gonna say that. But I go for the SB2, and I know I can't keep Quake and shaking / baking. But yeah, the specials can sometimes be annoying. The special 2 has some good reach, and the SP1 prevents you from hitting him into the block, or else he goes unstoppable. And here I accidentally mess up. I try to swipe back, but even one swipe would not work. So I immediately lose Quake, and I'm feeling pretty silly after this. But I go in with Warlock, and Warlock is a spam heavy character. It gives him I like to get the infection on him first, but then he becomes spam heavy. Yeah, and with the awakened ability, when you do a heavy attack, he gets degeneration on him. But yeah, I basically just keep spamming heavies here. And I go for the SB2, and this is a pretty annoying fight because I keep getting damage dealt back to me. But yeah, and I mess up on the dexing there. This fight I was just off. I don't know, I can't remember if I was tired or what. But I normally do not. I never play this bad. Alright, but we finally get through the Killmonger, Quake down, Warlock about halfway down. So we're not starting off great. But then I run out of energy, so I move on when I got more energy. And this is Phoenix. She's pretty straightforward. I can't remember what her nodes are or were. Yeah. So this fight, I'm pretty sure I go with Stealth, or maybe it's Warlock. Yeah, I go with Stealth. Yeah, Phoenix is very simple to fight. This guy did not place very insane defenders. Yeah, but I go for the SP1 for the precision. Yeah, and now we're just going to start doing some big damage. And yeah, so that fight was very straightforward. I had no trouble with that fight whatsoever. But yeah, so then I move on, and I look around, and then I decide to fight. Oh yeah. So I look at Blade's nodes, and it's an Arc Overload. And I look at Sabretooth's node, and it's Buffet, and I was like, well, okay, this can work out great. Warlock can infect both of them, and then neither of them can regenerate. So I end up going that path, and this ended up being a good decision, because I wasn't sure if anyone else had a really good heal counter, like someone else probably did, but who knows if they were prepared to go that path. But I go for the Blade, and the Arc Overload starts immediately. But yeah, I'm just trying to get him infected as soon as possible, because when they're infected and they're regenerating, they instead of regenerating, they're power drained. which is always really nice. Then you can just spam heavies. And they will, if you spam heavies over and over, they actually won't gain much power. But they will eventually gain power. So here I just go for the SP2, and you can see the regenerate. He has arc overload on him right now, but it did absolutely nothing. But yeah, I just keep slamming in right here. And Warlock sadly does not have a huge damage output, which is a little disappointing. So sometimes his fights can take a little bit longer, but I like to bring him into Alliance War because of but I like to bring him into Alliance War just because he can stop regeneration, he can power drain people. He's just got tons of utility packed into him. But yeah, Warlock was my favorite character for a long time. And he was my best character for a long time. I didn't have many top tier people, although I did have really good luck. I've always had really good luck. Yeah, so then I head for the Sabretooth. And yeah, he's annoying because he just regenerates like tons. The more you hit him, the more he regens. Which can be very annoying, and especially I'm pretty sure he has the buffet node. Yeah, he did. Yeah, and yeah, that would just make him regenerate even more, so might as well take out some regeneration. Okay, sorry. Alright, but yeah, I get the infection on him, almost. Yeah, I have infection on him. So he cannot regenerate. I wish this guy would crit a little bit more. But yeah, I go for the SP2, and you can see because he's regenerating, he's getting power drained. And I slip up a couple times on this fight, which is disappointing. But Warlock is a great Sabretooth counter. He can stop the regen, and Sabretooth regenerates a lot. And right there, now that I'm looking back, I have no idea why I did not just spam heavies in the corner. I don't think I thought of it while I was playing. Alright, but now I go to sleep that night, and yeah, and I wake up, and we're on the bosses. And I see that Man-Thing is close to being knocked out, but not quite. And I have Warlock again, has the poison immunity. So I'm like, okay, I'll just finish this guy off. So I read his nodes, and it's just some power stuff, which can be a little bit annoying. But yeah, this guy only had 24% left, although that's still 35,000 health. And this guy can be a little bit annoying because he's bleed immune. And I can't gain power, which is a little annoying. I can't remember the exact node. I think I needed a certain amount of debuffs or something. I can't remember. But yeah, I blocked through the special one. I didn't want to get in the corner. I wanted to stay aggressive against him. Yeah, but I dexed the SP1. But yeah, 11% still left. Although Warlock, if you spam heavies, has a decent damage output, or at least it's okay. Spam heavies is definitely the way to go, especially if you have the awakened ability for the degen. But yeah, the bleed damage always does good damage. But yeah, and Man-Thing, he's almost down. And there I blow it at the last second. I was very angry with myself. So I was just like, okay, Stealth Suit's basically at max health. He's got under 1,000 health left. I'll just finish it off with Stealth Suit. I was pretty pissed with myself that I didn't finish him off with Warlock. But I finished it off with Stealth Suit, and then I moved to the SpiderGwen, and I'm like, okay, this is great, because Stealth Suit is an evade counter. But here I made a super stupid mistake, because Stealth Suit's only an evade counter with his pre-fight ability, but instead I just start the fight without the pre-fight ability and completely forget about it. So this fight does not end amazing. There's some Bane, so they're doing a little bit of damage, but not much. But she's going to keep evading since SpiderGwen's really annoying with the evades. But yeah, Stealth Suit's thankfully pretty quick, so you can get away with the evades. But sadly, I do have some Bane on me, which is really annoying, and it lasted basically the full duration. But yeah, I'm able to get the precision. I was lucky I did not get evaded. But I can't throw off I couldn't get the Fury, sadly. His evade saved me there. But yeah, then she evades, I get intercepted, and yeah, it was just really annoying. And yeah, and I'm like, okay, I'll revive Stealth Suit. I'll revive the whole team actually. And then I'll just and yeah, then I'll just remember to activate the pre-fight this time. So I tried to see if there's any single revive for some reason. I don't do Alliance War an extreme amount. Although that's only because in my past alliances, they don't really run Alliance War a lot. They're mostly Alliance Quest. But I'll just revive the whole team. So I put in a level 2 team revive, and put some health potions into Stealth Suit. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna activate the pre-fight this time. So I do that, and yeah. So now whenever I use a flashbang, which is the 4th flight, it's gonna have a slow. So yeah, so I was like, okay, all right, there we go. I have the slow, and now she can't evade or go unstoppable. And I have the Fury, and now I'm gonna get the precision. But yeah, I'm just trying to rack up as much damage as possible. And I realized, oh crap, the slow is gone. I forgot to refresh it. And she's never going to let me do another 4th light. So I'm just trying to get as much damage off as possible. Because like I said, she was never not going to evade. She was always going to evade before I get the... So yeah. And then I tried to go for the SB2, but it fails miserably. And there I get intercepted. And it was just a really annoying fight. I forgot to refresh the slow. I wish that slow lasted for a little bit longer at times, since normally when you play Stealth Suit, you don't want to run out of evade charges that quick. So I'm like, okay, I'll just use Quake for the rest of the way, because she can't evade if I'm not hitting her. So I'm like, okay, I'll just Quake and Bake just for safety, because she's pretty quick. So I'm not very comfortable fighting her. But yeah, then she gets the Aftershock, and I'm like, okay, 1 maybe 2 more Aftershocks should do it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she had a Limber node, because like these parries were getting very, very short. But I finished off with Quake, since Quake's really, really good. And I'm like, okay, I have some people alive, but barely alive. I can try it a little bit, but it's most likely going to fail miserably. But I'm like, well, why not just try to help the Alliance a little bit, get a little bit of health off. But there I completely failed. That was really sad. But I'm like, okay, I'll go in with Warlock. But yeah, I wasn't expecting to get anywhere on these fights. Or on this fight. But yeah, I didn't get anywhere. I saw charge a heavy attack, and I was trying to go for the intercept, even though I was hitting into the block for some reason. Yeah, but we basically, we did end up fully exploring it. However, all my defenders were taken out. And they did not do amazing. But yeah, they didn't do amazing. They didn't take out many people. However, yeah, I wasn't sure how good they did on the other battle group. But yeah, we did end up winning the war. And right now we're in Silver 1. They were in Silver 2, but they didn't exactly bring the Alliance. They didn't seem to try very hard. Yeah, like they left a lot unexplored and stuff. But everybody, thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, make sure to subscribe and like button. If you want to watch more of me, I post every day at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so make sure to tune in then every day. If you wanna make sure to comment new videos you want to see. I'm always looking for new ones. And if you want to know more about my MCOC account and my YouTube channel, make sure to go over and follow the Instagram. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow.